Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Well, this week marks 2.5 years into my quiet quitting movement, if you can believe it. I first started quiet quitting in the spring of 2022. I'll get to that in a second. And I mark the occasion with some quiet quitting as well, but I don't necessarily think of myself as a quiet quitter. See, the stereotypical quiet quitter goes to work and then starts surfing social media, maybe plays some video games, and maybe chats with their coworkers. No, I don't tend to do that. What I tend to do is work the way that it's smart with me. What do I mean by that? For example, this week I took a day off to go to a social event, and but you know what? For once this week, I actually feel like I have a real week. These last couple of months, weeks have been zooming by for me, right? I'm single, and a lot of times during the week, a lot of other things I need to do get piled really high. So, for example, my laundry gets piled up. Sometimes some personal agendas get piled up, no time to do them. You get the idea, right? And I can only imagine what it would be like. I have a lot of respect for my landlord. She is also single. She's divorced. It doesn't sound like she has main custody of her kids, and somehow she manages the home, right? If there's repairs or something, I haven't seen her do any repairs. And so you get the idea. All of those things tend to get pushed into the weekend, and so I have all this idea of, oh my God, finally it's Friday, and then the weekend's gone, right? It feels like I go to sleep on Friday and I wake up on Monday because all of my weekend has already been spoken for. And so when I took a day off yesterday to go to the event, in essence, I was actually benefiting my work. My work doesn't see it that way though. And that's what I mean by strategic working. It's not quiet quitting the way I look at it, right? The other way I sometimes strategically work is by ignoring trivial tasks that have no meaning to or just so for example, we have a lot of nonsense training at the college. Not that it doesn't mean anything, but it's way too tedious. Like a diversity training that needs to be renewed. Like every time they change two words to it, I just renewed it, and then 2 weeks later they change two words. Before I even get to use it, I got to do it all over again. And I half jokingly, because the dean knows that I love bismuth, I half jokingly asked, "How much bismuth do I get for doing this?" And so to my surprise, he actually entertained that comment a little bit. He was like, "Well, how much is bismuth per pound right now?" And I thought I pushed it a little bit too far, so I didn't respond to that. Instead, I went through the training and I clicked as fast as I could without even I fast forwarded through the videos. And so I don't think of myself as a quiet quitter when I do that. I fast forwarded through the videos so that I could get some rest, so that the students can get more out of me, right? I'm pretty sure I understand what diversity is, right? But you get the idea, right? The other way I sometimes strategically work is I sometimes ignore some of these dress codes or policies or issues. I just had a problem. My dean complained about me eating in the break room. Now, as if going away to eat and taking time away from that was any good for the students, right? I'll pay attention to what I eat there, but I'm not going to stop eating in the adjunct office, right? I'm doing it for the benefit of everybody involved, right? Certainly, if there were somebody who was allergic to what I was eating, that would be a different story, right? But we're talking about people who just think it's a little bit unsightly, right? Things like that, right? And but this is strategic working, right? The other thing I learned is that you're never really promised anything at work, right? So to try to take care of yourself and take care of earning the money first, right? Promises of future work, those are not real, right? And also feel free to make half promises yourself as well, right? If they get you somewhere, right? But work for today, right? Like for example, right now I'm dealing with we had a problem. A lot of times, some of these contracts might at the college get canceled last minute, and I understand that students can drop, right? The problem is I end up having to sign so many contracts because of the risk of any of them getting canceled. Part of the reason I'm as burned out as I am this semester and resorting to strategic working is that I got way too I'm in over my head, in large part because I worried that one of these contracts would get canceled. And so I pretty much told myself, and also it really hurts because of I signed 3 contracts. I only wanted 2, and it really hurts because I made just enough to lose the savers credit on my taxes. So that third contract, I'm really getting I'm really not making as much as you think I am, right? And so I kind of told myself next spring, I signed 4 contracts for the spring. I'm kind of expecting one of them to be canceled, but I told myself if not, I'm going to have to really ramp up the strategic working and ask for a sabbatical during the first week. The summer semester is broken into 2 parts. I'll probably take the first one off if I end up getting 4 during the spring, right? I kind of told myself that. And more importantly, if I do get all 4 contracts, the other thing I plan to do is to kind of read the contract more carefully and don't do anything beyond what the contract says, right? Or if I do end up wanting to do more than what the contract says, that's the time to negotiate for something, right? How much bismuth do I get for that, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum, 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum, 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 bum.